Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update to where we're planning on heading for 2022. Now we're already in February, but I figured that it was a good time to sort of come back for a minute and let you guys know what to expect from the channel moving forward. Obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator is not going anywhere. And actually, in contrast, we're ramping up quite a few things. So let's talk about first to the Patreon subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for all the continued support. You have made so many things possible with this channel that I couldn't even begin to tell you. But there were so many things that would not have been possible had it not been for your continued support and backing of the channel and my work. It truly means a lot. I do not take it for granted. I can't even go into detail. Same thing with you YouTube subscribers. You guys make so much possible that you just can't imagine. Then obviously same to you viewers as well. But to the Patreon subscribers, you guys are here primarily for one reason, that is the guides. And lately there has been a sort of a slowdown in guide development, and that was actually quite intentional. I'm waiting for a few things to get ironed out. I backed off on the A320 for a while because the A320 was in such rapid development, but there were so many things that were system-based and performance-based versus actually new features. So I needed to back off because some of my procedure operations need to change now, as well as speed calculations, things like that, now that new features come available. Screens have been edited. The flypad obviously is completely revised from where the guide was, so that is being completely redone as well. And then which leads us into the advanced MCDU guide. As the MCDU continued to come to life and more features became available, I had to dive further and further deeper in. And me not being an Airbus pilot, there were times where that was quite difficult to get the information, make sure that the information I delivered out to you guys was correct and accurate. So there were times that was a challenge. I get really wary of delivering what I am calling quote unquote factual information when I don't know if I'm 100% right. And that can cause me to slow down quite a bit on the guides because I get really concerned. I mean, obviously I don't want that negative backlash. You know, nobody wants to hear it, you know, and you guys know that the keyboard warriors unfortunately are out there on YouTube, and they can say some pretty messed up things at times. And you know, I'm not impervious to that. I'm human just like anybody else, and sometimes it breaks you down. So I get really wary of some of the information that I release. And most importantly with the guides is at the end of the day, I mean, now $10 a month on Patreon and you get access to all my guides. And I think there's 6 of them now, if I remember correctly. So $10, 6 guides, that's cool, but you're still technically paying for that. And so I really want to make sure that the work that I put out on Patreon is of quality. So that brings me up to what's coming for Patreon, and it's going to be coming this month and very quickly. I have already started diving in very hard. That's why you're seeing a lot of quick videos on YouTube, because a lot of my attention is being shifted back over to Patreon for a minute to get the guides updated, as well as we're going to be looking at a new one. We're going to be looking at the CRJ, both the 550, 900 series, 700 series. They all pretty much operate the same way, so I haven't decided which aircraft I am physically going to do the guide on. But you know, I'm definitely starting on the CRJ with Mixmug's immersion mods coming through it as well. That definitely makes a big difference. So be on the lookout for that. Cessna Citation Longitude guide. There's a couple of minor updates that need to come to it, but for the most part, it's complete, as is the TBM 930. There really isn't a whole lot more to add to either of those guides. They're about as complete as I can make them. A320, obviously, as I said before, some procedural changes, as well as some new features in the MCDU and the flypad that we're going to be adjusting as well. But again, for the most part, the A320 guide is fairly complete. The other guide that's going to be coming around the corner is the G1000 NXI. The NXI has many more features and capabilities that I've seen than to the default working title G1000. It seems to be far more advanced. It seems to have definitely a nicer layout. So we're going to be doing a new guide on that from scratch. It has been out long enough. That was the other thing I was waiting from. I know I announced that quite a while ago. But again, I was waiting for it to continue development, and it's finally reached a point now where I feel confident that it's time to do so. So we're going to have that rolling out very quickly. So I would say that the primary focus is going to be finishing up the advanced MCDU guide, with the, you know, the announcement of the Airbus A380. You know, we know that it's being worked on by Flybywire. Hopefully we're going to see it soon. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. It will be nice, I think, to have that advanced guide, because although there are going to be differences in the aircraft, I believe that the overall performance in the MCDU will at least be familiar. And I think that having that advanced MCDU guide and having a guide just dedicated to the MCDU will prove to be advantageous when those aircraft come out. And especially as we see other Airbus aircraft come out. We have the Phoenix A320 coming around the corner as well. So I think it's going to be nice to have that. So I'm going to put a lot of focus into getting that done and complete based on the information that I have available to me. And then we're going to jump into the G1000 NXI, and the G1000 NXI is actually probably going to be a pretty fast one. So from there, we're going to be going from the G1000 NXI over to the CRJ. The CRJ will just be like the other guides, a completely cold and dark, full flight tutorial PDF from cold and dark to cold and dark, you know, from destination to arrival. Now talking about simulation, I also, we're going to be going into, ramping NeoFly back up. I really have a good time with NeoFly. The content that I do primarily, you know, showing off mods, add-ons, updates, it's fun. But it's nice to be able to get out and fly with a purpose and share that with you guys. And the last one, if you guys haven't seen it, was quite entertaining. NeoFly just has this way of taking the simulator to keeping that simulation level high, but yet throwing a bit of entertainment twist into it as well. And it's really, I really enjoy NeoFly. If you guys haven't had a chance to check that, I highly recommend it. It really changes the game. So we're going to be seeing some NeoFly. We're still going to be seeing mods, add-ons, and tutorials just like we have been. And then we're also going to be bringing DCS World back. I have been spending a lot of time in the cockpit of DCS again as well off of camera here. And we're going to be bringing it back. I'm sharpening my tools, my points, getting my eyes back into the cockpit, and we're going to start doing some both some recordings and some live streams with DCS World. Now, I do want to remind anybody who is unfamiliar with DCS World. DCS stands for Digital Combat Simulator. It is a combat simulator, so please be cautious when you watch those videos. I did have one gentleman who misunderstood DCS World for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then we started seeing things blow up and things like that. It was something he didn't enjoy. So I will be also adding a disclaimer to the beginning of every DCS video that this is a combat simulator and you can expect to see simulated combat. So just keep that in mind, but we are bringing that back to the channel. It's where the channel started, and I kind of miss the content. I really do. Speaking of content, we're going to be branching out a little bit. You know, I've done a little bit of Green Hell, and I actually had someone get mad at me because I complained about the main character too much, and he was absolutely right. So I won't be doing that anymore. I won't be complaining about the main character. He made some whines and groans, things like that. That, you know, I started. You know, I thought I was being funny, but apparently I wasn't. But we're going to bring some of that back. Probably bring some Grand Theft Auto back, the OCRP roleplay. I really have a good time with that, and it's I really want to bring that back to the channel. And then probably some American Truck Simulator, maybe some racing. I want to start branching out a little bit, keeping the content a little bit more diverse. It helps me as a content creator not get so you know, burnt out on all of it. Some of it can become a little bit daunting at times, you know, doing the content. And making sure that it stays entertaining for you guys. You know, obviously I have to maintain certain algorithms as a YouTube content creator in order to make sure that my content actually gets advertised. And I want to make sure that that content isn't just drab content, that it's things that you guys are actually going to enjoy. And I think branching out is going to help with that a little bit. I do want to stress that Microsoft Flight Simulator will absolutely 150% still be my primary content. I'm looking for a video a day for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then I'll be doing fill-in live streams and you know, other content on the side as well. Now, speaking of live streams, I do want to encourage all of you to please join me on Twitch. Twitch is down below. The reason being, okay, a lot of people say, you know, I've boycotted Twitch, and I understand that there were some issues, and you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's just, I am encouraging it so that way you can be a part of the live stream and the live stream community. And the biggest reasons is the stream quality tends to be better than streaming directly to YouTube. At least from my personal experience, I have a much easier time getting a nice, smooth, clean picture for you guys on Twitch than with YouTube. With YouTube, it's so erratic, you know. One day I'll be streaming to YouTube and everything was great, and the next time I'll go to it and it's just a big choppy mess. And that's sort of what brought me to stop doing it for quite a long time. It's been a couple of months since I've done a live stream at this point. I got really frustrated. And then, so many of you guys, aren't on Twitch, and that obviously bummed me out because you guys you're my crew. You're the Overkill pack. So I really please request and encourage you, join me on YouTube or on Twitch. The link's down in the description below. You'll get alerts when I go live. Also join us on the Discord. I always post on Discord when I'm going live. Again, link down in the description below. There's no fee anymore for joining us on Discord. We're building quite a community. I think we're over 1,000 members strong now, if I remember correctly. I'd have to go back and check, but so it's really becoming something awesome. And with Twitch, the biggest thing that I think that I enjoy the most, and why I really encourage that, aside from the quality of the content, from the viewer's perspective, is the chat. With YouTube, there's a pretty significant delay in the time that you send a message to the time I see it. And that's anybody. That's any YouTube content creator. There's a pretty big delay between the chat time. Where Twitch, it's almost instant. So as you type a question or make a statement, I see it. And it really, really makes a big difference. It's a lot more fun, in my opinion. And I just really encourage you guys all to join me there, because I am going to be going back to live streams. I miss the live streams. I miss the interaction. We had some really great times on my live streams. There was a lot of laughing, a lot of good times, a lot of really cool conversations. We try really hard, and I try really hard to keep it flight simulation related. We keep all the nonsense out of it. Every time nonsense starts to hit those, I kick that to the curb. The other thing is, finally, the group flights. We're bringing group flights back. I'm going to bring it back to maybe twice a month. Once a week was tough to maintain. And another reason why I backed away from Twitch and live streaming is I started to put too many eggs in my basket. Let's just call it what it is. I was overloading myself. And so to avoid that, I'm going to start limiting the live streams, but I definitely want to bring them back. Like I said, I miss the interaction. I always had a great time interacting with all of you guys who used to join me on the live streams. It was nice to have that live one-to-one communication there. So it was pretty cool. Anyways, so that is it for the 2022 channel update. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. As a whole, I get really great feedback on my videos, and there's some of you that have such amazing information that I soak up like a sponge. Man, I just take that information you guys give me and I really pull it in tight. And then the seeing all the camaraderie that happens down in the comments, for the most part. There are some, like I said, I'm not impervious to the keyboard warriors. And they're definitely out there. There's some mean people who have nothing better to do than talk smack on YouTube, and that's just the way life is, I guess. But I would say for the 99.99% of you guys who watch my videos, comment, and subscribe to the channel, you guys are fantastic, and I really enjoy it. And you're my motivation. You really are. You guys keep me motivated. So with that being said, guys, as always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.